Oh my god.
Holy shit.
If you choose to stay in one of those evacuation areas, you're gonna die.
The sky is literally purple.
Hi! Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between that, how are we feeling about the new setup? I am in a different part of the same exact room. I can't hear you, but I'll pretend you said it's good. And let's talk about something. I think something's happening in Florida right now. See, for those of you uninitiated or haven't turned on the news in the past few days, Florida's being hit by a hurricane, or 2, or 3. We can't tell yet. I love the news and misinformation on the internet. Me when I spread it on the internet, me when I lie. Do I lie? You can't tell. But regardless, there's a hurricane going on, and of course it goes by the most horrifying name of Milton. I wouldn't evacuate either if I thought Milton was going to come knocking down my door. But despite jesting one of the least threatening names I've ever seen in my life, like why... Why did you call it Milton? You could have called it Snugglebug and I would have taken it more seriously. But regardless, this is a pretty serious storm. It's a Category 5 hurricane, despite the fact that some people are arguing calling it a Category 6, which, by the way, isn't a real thing. So they're making things up. But so is Milton, apparently, because I saw a tweet from a meteorologist saying that this hurricane is nearing the mathematical limit of what Earth's atmosphere over this ocean water can produce. Because, you know, laws of physics are only laws if you pay attention to them. What? Mathematical limit? Like, Jesus! This storm is so bad, it made a meteorologist cry on live television.
Just an incredible, incredible, incredible hurricane. It has dropped 50 millibars in 10 hours. I apologize.
And of course, despite his tears, most of Florida wasn't exactly horribly affected by this. It was kind of just in direct path of Milton that was the danger. No Walter White. And so most people above or below it heard all this stuff and they're in Florida and they're like, a hurricane's hitting Florida, Milton, Category 6. Ha! I don't see anything. Maybe a brisk breeze and some light rain. But if you look in the center of Florida where main things are going down, that's a Gmod map. Why have you designed... You can't park that there. That's not how that works. Like, Milton decided to pull up to Florida without any invitation and treat that bitch like a Diddy party, and now everyone's just panicking. Or... No one's panicking. Floridians don't even care. You're messing with literal super soldiers down there.
It's pushing the water, and there's a jogger, actually. Look at this. Wow. It's a Florida man right there for you, Blake, jogging in the hurricane.
And this, of course, brings me to the most interesting part of this story so far, and the reason I made this video in the first place, Lieutenant Dan. Not the one from the movie, the Storm one. Florida man, Lieutenant Dan, he has decided to stand on business against this hurricane by doing the best thing he thought to rebel against it, which is literally nothing. He's getting on a boat, and he's just gonna thug it out. And I wanted to cover this story really quickly because I find it genuinely kind of hilarious, mainly because I didn't even think he'd be able to pull off this feat, considering he only has one of them. But this man, Florida man, Lieutenant Dan, is a... That was bars, by the way. He is a built different human being, constructed alternatively, if I may. Because, meanwhile, while they have buildings that have been putting, like, things under, supplies to survive, that are getting literally destroyed, they decided to put all of the survival supplies under a felt roof. The general Florida population might be indestructible, but I'd never claim that they were intelligent. And one of those Florida people is, of course, Florida man Lieutenant Dan, who has been going increasingly viral recently when people just kind of go up to him and record him like he's some sort of endangered animal because he's acting like one. But despite all of that, despite the survival supplies being stuck under a felt roof, which was a really good move, genius move from Florida, rip those, he's thriving. He's absolutely thriving while sitting on his boat and streaming on TikTok.
Are you okay? Everybody's worried about you.
Who's worried about
It's all over TikTok.
When I first started hearing about this Lieutenant Dan story, I assumed that when he heard about TikTok, he was going to think they were talking about that Kesha song or that there was a grandfather clock nearby or something. But the more I learned about Lieutenant Dan, the more I learned that there is a lot more than meets the eye behind this guy. But that's a surprise tool that's going to help us later. Let's listen to more of this clip.
everybody, like across the country?
I'm gonna go live in a minute.
Are you gonna be okay?
I'm gonna be fine.
I don't think people realize you're so close to down. I mean, you could just get off if something bad happened. You know what I mean?
I'm not going anywhere because the safest place to be is on a boat in a flood. Okay, we learned that with Noah. Everybody that stayed on land drowned. Noah and the animals lived. So I'm fine.
Do you have any animals?
No, I wish I did.
Okay.
I could use 2 females.
What an interesting way to refer to females. But also, Lieutenant Dan clearly earned his rank in the actual and real military and not just acquired this name for a funny joke because he has one leg. Because this is flawless logic. The Ark could survive a flood, so my boat can survive bashing into the cement over and over again in the middle of the city in Florida on Palm Beach.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Everybody's been worried.
Oh, no, I'm fine. I needed to cut that line, that anchor that's holding me right here. And I'm banging up against the
It's
wall.
been windy. It's a little bit of a down spot now, but you're gonna stay here though?
Yeah. I'm just trying to get over there.
All right, we're over here if you need us.
So quaint that he has some babysitters, but I find it hilarious that not even that far into the storm yet, he's already dropping supplies like he has a full inventory in Minecraft. He had to cut the anchor. Ah, that pesky anchor, keeping me on the ground, keeping me near the shore. God, cut that off. Get rid of that dead weight, honestly. But of course, Noah's Ark also had to cut their anchor off so they would stop slamming into the cement border wall in Palm Beach as well, so I see the parallel. And later into the storm, people decide to start confirming that he is indeed still alive, but the thing that really has me scratching my head at how this is an insane feat is, how is he exactly in much danger if there are people probably like 100 feet away sitting in a tent or something, making sure he's okay all the time? Like, shouldn't you be evacuating? Shouldn't you be leaving the shoreline during a category 5.5 hurricane? Like, the mayor said you're going to die. They didn't say, oh, hunker down, maybe put some sandbags in front of your house. Tee, you're going to die. And they're like, you know, I mean, I'll stand by the guy who's referencing Noah's Ark as his success story. He clearly knows what he's doing. And of course, one of the modern philosophers of our own age felt the same way. Aiden Ross. Who would have thought he was going to find his way into this story? But he decided to offer Lieutenant Dan, Florida man Lieutenant Dan, a kick deal to stream on Kick. And he offered it up in the weirdest way possible.
We were able to come up. I'm going to be able to pay for a boat for you. We're going to get you a nice boat, and we're going to get you a full-time Kick deal, which is a live streaming deal where you can stream your entire voyages and all your adventures. You can connect with fans all over the world, and they could really see your adventure, man.
Wow. I mean that from, but I don't know what else to say other than thank you.
Probably because you don't even know what Kick is. Just like the rest of us. Oh my god. Extremely rare Jedi appearance. Jedi, what would you like to tell the masses about Lieutenant Dan? What are you saying? I can't hear him. What is he saying? Oh, I'm recording. I'm recording there. Oh, you know what? Sure. Why not? That's my hot dog. Don't eat that. But of course, that's pretty bare bones story, right? Guy gets in boat, survives hurricane. They've done that before. Noah did that. He just said that. The Bible thing. Well, the story takes a really strange turn. A turn that I wasn't anticipating. In fact, it actually takes 2 turns, so almost a whole circle. But regardless, the first one being, this is not the first time he has done this. There was a video that was posted talking about Lieutenant Dan after the hurricane. Look at that. Post-hurricane up to Lieutenant Dan. Yeah, look at that.
The water went up. It was up to here last night.
It was up to there. It was up, the water was all the way up there, except for that you have a little bit of hair on your head. I think you're bald normally. Oh, this video was posted months ago. He's a hurricane chaser. What? Well, that's not the only weird twist. Let's add another one. Let's throw a little more kindling on the fire. He has more mugshots than Elon Musk has children who still talk to him. Holy shit, this guy is a felon.
First off, this man has a GoFundMe with over $20,000 in it. He's not homeless. Period. He lives on a boat. Except for the short year that he spent in prison for beating a EMT with a violin.
Beating an EMT with a violin? Are you a Looney Tune? I don't know if I should be mad or impressed. When did you get into how do you get into a situation where there is an EMT in your close vicinity? So are you in a hospital, or are you hurt and harmed in the end? There's someone coming to help you, and you're laying there probably getting helped by an EMT, or maybe the EMT's coming to help you, and you wake up with a violin in your hand for some reason, and your first thought is, I'm going to beat that EMT with it. That's not how you play it. Dude was like probably bleeding out on the floor, and a guy pulled up to help him, and he woke up and chose violence. Please laugh.
His GoFundMe is under a different name than the one that he's using in the Daily Press and the one that he was arrested in. So it's really hard to tell who exactly he is. But what I have found is that his Facebook page lists himself as a digital creator.
You hear that, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between that? We've been baited yet again. This is another... Hi. There's another content creator who decided to just put themselves in a dangerous situation for the sake of getting viral online, which honestly, at the end of the day, I mean, I gotta laugh at it. I mean, he beat an EMT with a violin. Like, that's hilarious. That's not even what he did, and I find that hilarious. But the whole idea that this is a guy who, by the way, parked 700 feet away from the safest part of the ocean. He decided to park intentionally in a dangerous spot for, I guess, the shits and giggles of it all. And he went viral because of it. It worked. Why didn't I think of that? But regardless of all of that, the storm has passed now, and there was videos posted of Lieutenant Dan, in fact, surviving the entire hurricane. So GG's, you did it. And you're viral now. You're famous. And you have a kick deal, a new boat. You've got W after W after W.com. But I got myself a bit of a URL too, because I got a W from laughing at it, got a W from making a video of it, and hopefully you guys got a W from being able to laugh at this video. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for sticking around. Like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you're new. The upload schedule might slow down just a little bit so I can focus on making videos I actually care about instead of pumping out slop to fit a time schedule. But I really appreciate you guys being here nonetheless. Of course, as I said, subscribe, stick around for more, but I'll see you whenever I make next. Let me know your thoughts on the new setup. It is very different. It's a whole new vibe. I set it up so I could, like, I have, like, a couch and everything. Like, I have places to sit and watch TV now. It isn't just a basement made for content creation. It's awesome. But thank you for being here. And as always, adios, arrivederci, goodbye, good night. And despite Lieutenant Dan being an amputee, he still somehow managed to get a leg up on me.